Okay, and the final thing I need to do is just read through our hearing script. This is basically just covers the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll jump right into the presentation of the applicant's case. So this is the March 9th, 2022 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. My name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the City of Cincinnati, and I'll preside over this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20220009. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the Zoning Hearing Examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing, unless a party has submitted evidence or testimony in the form of writing prior to this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. Anyone from the public will then have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. In the event any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will be given an opportunity to make any closing statements. So for our purposes here today, I'll give Ms. Westheider and Mr. Weeks an opportunity to tell me about this project, any background, why they think it's appropriate, why I should grant this relief. I'll give Ms. Whitehead, if she would like, an opportunity to provide any testimony about the project or any input about the project. And then I'll go back to the applicant and the owner to provide any closing remarks, any response to anything else that's been said during the hearing. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected with. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. This is evidence. Generally, that's evidence that you want to introduce that consists of statements made by someone who is not present at this hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties, as we've already seen a little bit here, again, my apologies. I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But to the extent there's some defect in the tech today that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with the hearing, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. Okay, last thing I need to do is just read through is to get everyone sworn in. So if you intend on providing any testimony here today, making any comments, asking any questions, doing anything other than just strictly observing, then you need to be sworn. If you're not sure yet whether you're going to be testifying or not, I can wait until before your testimony to do that. But if you know right now that you're going to need to provide some comment or some testimony, I'd ask that you take yourself off mute. I need everyone to raise their right hand and answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Mr. Weeks, I'm having trouble seeing your full screen there. Okay. Could you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I just have Mr. Weeks sworn in here. And if Ms. Whitehead or Westheider would like to provide testimony, I can swear you in later. Mr. Weeks, what would you like to tell me about the project?
The project is actually a 3-season room where we're redoing the concrete on this to make it acceptable for a sunroom to be installed. It's a trench footer that is built to code along with a new slab. And then what we do is we come in, we build a 3-season sunroom to help with the homeowners to enjoy summer, fall, and spring. I mean, it's an addition compared to what they have right now. If you look at the project right now, it's existing. I don't know if you can see this or not. That's what's existing.
Let me try and help out here.
Okay, all right.
Is that the picture you're trying to show?
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's existing. And this is our proposal. Right there. Yes. And it's a non-living area. I mean, it's a recreational area for her neighbors and herself and her family to enjoy. And as I understand it, we're only 4 foot in encroachment. It'll be a benefit to the neighborhood and to the family and to the city of Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah, so the way I see it is that the setbacks in the neighborhood are 35 feet, meaning the rear of the building or any additions need to be 35 feet from the rear property line, and you're asking for 26 feet. So that'd be a 9-foot variance to add in that closed-in sunroom space. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right. Anything else you'd like to tell me, Mr. Weeks?
No, I just think it would enhance the neighborhood and enhance the lifestyle of Miss West Hyder. So,
Okay. Do you believe that the sunroom generally matches the character of the rest of the home and the neighborhood in general?
yes, I do.
Okay. Why?
Why? Because if you look at Arani is the same slope as what our roof's going to be. Okay. And there's other sunrooms in the neighborhood also. I don't know their exact addresses, but we've built in that neighborhood before. So,
Okay. And I know that the zoning code allowance is 35 feet. But are there other homes in the area that enjoy some relief of that 35 feet as well? In other words,
I didn't research that or not. I'm being honest with you. I'm sure there is. I mean, you would have a better record of that than I would, sir.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And are there any potential adverse effects, blocking wind, air, light, anything like that for neighboring properties?
No, it's all clear glass.
Okay. But I think that's all the questions I have. Ms. Westheider or Whitehead, last opportunity to provide any additional testimony. Okay. All right. Mr. Weeks, anything in closing or otherwise here before we adjourn?
No, sir. I just think it would be a great thing for the city of Cincinnati. Let this go through.
Okay. So I've had an opportunity to review the application. Based on that review and on the testimony I've heard today, I'm going to approve the project. What I need to do is actually formalize that decision in a written opinion. And so that's what usually takes a little bit of extra time for me to do. So I generally will have those out within 2 weeks. I aim to have them out as quickly as possible. As soon as I do finish that decision, I put it into a PDF and I email it to everybody who's in the hearing. So you all will have a copy of that decision as soon as it's finished. And then once you have that copy of that decision, you can start working with the zoning department. I think Wes Menzel was working on this as the zoning examiner. You can work with Wes, and Wes can approve the permitting at that point, so the project can move forward. But you'll have to, and I'll include Wes in that email as well, so he'll get it right when you guys do. But you'll have to wait until that decision comes through before Wes can approve the permit.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out, or if you'd like an update on the status of the decision, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, yeah, you can work with Wes once you get it. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate your time and your testimony. Hope you have a wonderful
Thank you, Billie Jean.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be a beautiful project. I just didn't know.
I'm so glad you showed up. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Have a great day, everyone.